couple of football seasons in the DMV. Austin Ekeler is out here and now resides in the Vegas area and hanging out as Circa is kicking off their contest weekend. Good to see you, man. How are you?
You know, I want to say this. Thanks for having me on. But you guys were one of my favorite shows to be on, this season. So I appreciate you guys. I've done a few of those like that where it's like a little 20 minutes. And I think you guys had good energy. I will say this, though. It's kind of funny. I got warned about you guys.
Did you?
Warned?
Yes, I got warned.
I want to hear more about this.
Wait a minute.
Do you want to get right into it, or you want to?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
right now.
All
Yeah,
right.
no
I
teaser.
got warned. So, the PR for these leagues or these teams is like very tight. Like they don't want any bad press.
Correct.
And so apparently you guys had a reputation of asking some questions around injuries and stuff like that.
Ooh, good to know.
Or maybe poking around some places that are maybe a little controversial for our guys to be talking about.
So specifically injuries or other things too?
Injury was one. There was probably, I think there was like a few. Like we had like a list.
Was it written down on a piece of paper?
No, it was not written down.
Okay.
It was not written down. It was more of a passing, like, hey, I heard you're on the Grant Danny show. Be careful with these guys. Like, make sure.
Be careful.
Here's the thing. A lot of this information is very sensitive. It has very real repercussions for these leagues, right? Because if there's like something that maybe wasn't supposed to get out that did, massive fines, big headlines.
Totally.
Yeah.
So obviously they're extremely, extremely tight. But never have any problems with you guys. I think mainly because I'm media trained and know not to,
Exactly.
I've touched the stove before. Actually, out in LA, I got in trouble. It was Justin Herbert. People were asking like how he was, and I said like I smiled at him and smiled and waved, and he smiled back at me in the training room, and that blew up.
I'm
just
sure.
saying he's simple. Anyway, so
Yeah, he waved. Which hand? He waved. It was right arm that was hurt. Ha! Yeah.
people take it as something.
Wow.
But yeah, so I think we made it through clean. So I appreciate
did.
you guys. Yeah, it was good.
So I always say, it's funny, I was on a beat for 4 football seasons before I did the everyday show. And roles are different. You wear different hats at different times. PR staff over there, which is the same now as when you were there, Sean and Charlie and Samantha, they're excellent. Love the crew. They're really, really good. But I would say this. If I wasn't considered someone that like asks good enough questions that a PR staff has to do a little brief beforehand, I don't think I'd be doing my job well.
Hey, that's well said.
I don't work for the team.
Well said.
And if the team wants to pay for me, we can have that conversation.
Well, look, they didn't say can't go on it.
Yeah,
they said
exactly.
be careful. So that means I think you're in a good spot. Then.
Huh.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Right on the
But
edge.
I
That's where
like
you wanna
being
be.
on the radar of like, they're not that excited to put someone on with us.
You're on a short list.
Because we're going to actually, do our job.
Because
a little bit.
you're right. When I first heard that, it's like these guys are going to try to trick you,
Yeah.
and like they'll hypnotize you into giving away a state secret. Like what's the first 15 script? Like nobody's doing that, right?
They might ask you if you're going to play or not on Sunday. But no, we had a blast. It was a great time.
Always great to have you, man. You're the best.
You were a lot of fun to chat with. Are you considering playing still? Are you definitely?
absolutely.
So give me an idea of like
I'm
what's
looking
going
for
on
the right
there.
situation for me at this point.
Have teams been calling?
Yeah, we have some teams that are interested, but for me, it comes down to what's the situation with your running back room, and are you going to use me in the way that I can be utilized, third downs, 2-minute drives, that type of protecting your quarterback, passing situations. That's where I want to be utilized. Not all opportunities are out there that are open for that, which is fine. And right now we're going through. I'm coming off an Achilles. People are worried about me. So at this point, I'm patient. I can decide, hey, if we get a call, let's hear them out. If it sounds like a good fit, let's go do the workout. Let's see if we can make it work. If not, we'll keep sitting around. I'll keep running fantasy leagues.
That moment you mentioned the Achilles was just like watching it in real time.
Yeah,
I can't imagine for you having had it happen to you, but for the fans where you look behind you like, what got me?
Yeah.
Oh no, like that feeling. Can you mind talking about it?
Yeah, it's
what
tough.
you thought and then what happened?
To anyone that's had an Achilles tear, basically, it feels like you got kicked. And you'll hear everyone kind of say that's had an Achilles. It feels like you got kicked in the heel. It didn't hurt right away. And so all of a sudden I turn around, and then I go to step, and then it's kind of like my foot's like there's something wrong. So you fall down, and then you try to move your foot, and then you realize like you can't move it at all because it's not attached anymore, right? You can't pull it back. You can't pull it back.
Yeah.
And so obviously immediately knew I tore it, and then the pain hits in when you're trying to move it and messing with the nerves and stuff. But I mean, it's immediately. It's so unfortunate, too, because there's nothing that I felt that was different going into it, and it's just it was a play. I'm out in the flat about to go chase the ball because it got thrown the other way, and I step back and snap my Achilles. Like, there's nothing
You've
that
made
I could've
that
done.
catch, that play 1,000 times.
It wasn't even a play.
More, yeah.
You're just away from the play.
The ball went the other
Oh,
way.
right, yeah.
I ran a flat route, and I was about to go jog over to the ball or something like that, and I stepped back and snap all out of nowhere. So actually, I learned this, though. This is for all you out there that are active, maybe playing pickleball, stuff like this. My surgeon, he's like, you will dramatically reduce your the chances of you snapping your Achilles if you have a small heel lift in there. So if you're out there active out there, because I went to a place and like we have a ton of pickleball Achilles. So wear a heel lift. There you go. That's your little medical.
Really?
My medical suggestion. For you
wearing that when you play pickleball?
Hey Siri, order heel lifts. So
order
many.
some heel lift, right? For sure. Anyway,
Austin Ekeler on Grant and Danny here on the Fan. It was that kind of year. I mean, coming off the NFC title game, we were all just so excited, and it's hard to replicate like that magical carpet ride, but it still felt like the floor was really high. Right, it was going to be
100%.
super competitive, and then it's just one of those years where it's almost like you pay for the previous season, where it's just like nothing went right. Did you guys going into last year in Ashburn? Did you feel like you were going to be a playoff team?
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Well, and as a competitor, you have to like that. If you're not thinking like that, you don't make it to the NFL.
So like right now, guys on the Cardinals, the Jets, they legitimately think they can make the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Internally, yes. To everyone else, it might seem delirious, but who's going to believe in us and if we don't? You know, like so that's the mentality. And it might not be like we all believe we're going to make it all the way, but it's a let's go out there and give it everything we have and see what happens. We're not going to count ourselves out, right? We might not believe, hey, we're going to go win the Super Bowl, but we're not saying we can't be good. And then we'll kind of take it as that. The same thing with the Commanders. No one thought when we had new coaching staff, all this stuff, hey, they were going to go out and make this huge run. People were like, hey, maybe they'll be competitive this year, set up and see how this Jayden Daniels guy does, in his rookie year. And everyone in our organization is block out the media. Media is going to be media. You guys got to do your job. We get to speculate on. You only have what has happened in the past,
sure.
Right? And then speculation. For us, we have a moment to prove something that hasn't been done before, and we have to believe in ourselves and go give it the best. So every team out there should, if they're not, then probably need to get new coaches, should be believing that we can go make a run.
This actually came down yesterday. I actually want to ask your opinion about it. You're always so thoughtful and cerebral about things. You see the NFL's new sort of emphasis on the different kinds of tackles and finding guys and a potential suspension. This is just someone that got tackled a lot as a running back, a lot of contact in your profession. Yeah. What do you make of that? I just think it's too hard to legislate some of the stuff. But you wore it.
Did you see the rule change? There was a rule change that came out with the fine system. I thought actually was cool. It's basically like a 3-strike system.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
You get 3 of the 5 violations, and it's a 1-game suspension.
Correct, and the fine
on
top of that. And so I thought that was really good to kind of help guys that maybe have – like I dropped my head one time. It's the only fine I've ever gotten. I dropped my head on a check down. I didn't really drop my head. I run low, and I turned, and I had a guy right behind me, and I ducked to just clinch, and I got a fine for like $20,000 for basically protecting myself in like a split-second decision. The only fine I've ever gotten.
So that's 1 strike. If you do that 3
in the
times?
old system, $20,000, poof, gone. Now in this system, if I don't have any other strikes, which I didn't for that year, I would have got my $20,000 back.
Got you.
So anyway,
it
but
seems
going back,
like the 1-game suspension is way more important than the fine.
Well, that's if you're a repeat offender, then you can get suspended.
Yeah.
Don't be a knucklehead. Come on. But going back to the controlling of it, it's definitely hard. It's harder on defenders too because they have to get you on the ground. And sometimes it's by any means. Sometimes that's a shoulder, you're in a weird position. There are some people that are out there that just don't have good technique. It's a minority of people. They're not giving – it seems like a lot of fines, but it's a lot of people across the league, a lot of defenders out there, but it's really not that many fines that are going out of here. So there are definitely guys that have to learn how to play better. Some play styles. I remember there's a guy named Denzel Perryman. He was with the Chargers. He's a linebacker. He's been around for a while. This man always was using his head. And it was like, I don't ever want to go try to block this man because I know he's gonna headbutt me. And so guys like that, if we can't encourage you to do it by coaching you or not telling you not to, you got to take your money or suspend you. So I think it's tough, but it's to protect the game.
Austin Ekeler, Grant and Danny, we're out at Circa in Las Vegas on the Fan. You were not in the building probably a ton at this time, but I'm sure you were doing some rehab with the club. Cliff Kingsbury and the offense kind of sputter down the stretch. Were you surprised that they moved on from Kingsbury and promoted Blau internally?
No. I think Kingsbury could have left last year or the year before and got maybe a head coaching job or been an offense coordinator somewhere else. I don't think he would have gone coordinator. I think he would have gone head coach. I think he would have been fielding those calls if he wasn't, but maybe wanted to try to make another run because it's really hard to put runs together and be in a team at the right time like we were last year or the 2 years ago. So that doesn't surprise me at all that, hey, we tried it again. Hey, opportunity, I'm going to go do one.
But he didn't leave as much as they moved on from him. That's what I'm – like, is that surprising? And then you knew Blau from the building.
Yeah.
he was an assistant QB's coach kind of down the way. So far, it looks like a sharp hire because he seems like a really smart guy.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious your perspective in the building.
My perspective, just in a building of any change, it's not necessarily that you're a bad coach or anything like that, but new chemistries need to be formed. Like that's what teams are looking for. What can we find that puts the most consistent thing on the field that holds for a long time? That's why you see some of these franchise teams, same coaching staff, same head coach. They try to keep these guys together as long as possible if they can. It's tough. And if it doesn't work out, again, maybe you had success somewhere, right? And you didn't hear. Well, why didn't you hear? Maybe it's the philosophy didn't work with our players, and maybe the head coach and it didn't mesh. Go find a new chemistry. You see coaches bounce around all the time. So I don't think it was anything other than that. Like, hey, we want to try to do philosophy this year.
Did you know Blau was like on a rocket ship? I mean, had never called plays, hasn't been an OC, and he got that job because 2 other teams wanted to interview him, and the Lions were about to hire him. Can you tell when there's a guy like that in your building?
You can, but it doesn't show itself to the players as obviously as it does for maybe some of the coordinators. 'Cause if you're a coordinator, I talk to you all the time. You're talking to the team all the time. You're dressing us. I don't see the behind the scenes. I don't know who's talking in the meetings for their staff meetings. I don't know your reputation from another team that you're on. It's so political on the coaching side because they want guys they can trust. They want guys that they can depend on. If you have someone on your coaching staff, you want to make sure that I don't have to worry about them. I know they're going to take care of their stuff. And so if you have that reputation, you're starting to build that. That's very valuable. And so I think that's probably why he's gotten that position is because he's been vouched for in other places. And then behind the scenes, the stuff that I can't see as a player, he's really on top of it.
So he's not like leading meetings last year, helping Cliff out.
No, that's Cliff's job.
Yeah.
That's Cliff's job.
Just
but
Cliff only.
It doesn't mean he wasn't as integral to the offense. He might have been coming up with plays and concepts. He actually did. Every once in a while, he would come up with a concept, and it'd be like, wow, go show us your concept.
No way.
And,
that's awesome.
We'd always joke around like, oh, this is one that because he was a quarterback too. Like this
the
is,
mad scientist.
This is one that he brought back from his quarterback days, stuff like that. Yeah.
Has there been a guy in your career that you've gone, that dude, that's it, that's a rocket ship. He's going somewhere. He's going to be a star, a savant.
Again, it's tough for me as a player to see that because I talk to like 2 people. I talk to the coordinator. I talk to my running back coach. That's pretty much it. Everything else is on the practice field and walking by. It's almost like it's hard to probably imagine, but like think of like just in a big office. Sometimes you interact with some people, and sometimes
you're sharing one cubicle with 2 people. Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I talk.
They're on the other side of the building.
If we're here, we talk to each other. Whoever's over there, I don't know. We work for the same company, but they're over there.
Gotcha.
So it's hard for me.
And that's an offensive coach.
Yeah.
You probably don't even know who the linebackers coaches are.
Sometimes there's assistant coaches. I don't know their name. It's just like we're on the same mission. Like, what's up, coach? And it's mutual. It's not like there's anything personal about that. It's just the way it goes. I mean, there's so many interactions and a lot of people in the organization.
What's your confidence in? I remember when you first came over, we talked a lot about Justin Herbert and how much you liked him in LA. What's your confidence in Jayden having a monster bounce back?
I think he has to. Everything's kind of set up for him too. Like, this is a very crucial year for Jayden. Not only just because of the organization, but because for him, I think his trajectory is going up, and it's like, all right, let's get back on that. Let's get back on. He's got the potential to have that skill. So you want to make sure, obviously, if you have a dip, the dip doesn't slow you down. And so I think that's going to be good for him to show and prove that, hey, yeah, it was a bounce back year because I had injuries, but injuries haven't slowed me down at all. He's still really young, still a lot of talent around his team, too, that we'll see how it plays out. I'm not on the team anymore, so I can't help him myself. But as far as him, I think he's one of the players that can take over the game because he is so athletic. And we saw, in 2024, running all over the place when he needed to, almost sometimes too much, but can take over the game. And so with that, I think he gives himself the most upside to actually come back and make that bounce back.
How do you learn that? When you say sometimes almost too much, like when to play hero, when you don't need to? Were you referencing just because of like injuries and stuff? Or
no, I think 2024, the first game he played, he had like 19 rushes.
It was like 16 against Tampa Bay. Crazy.
I was like, okay, like this man, he's trying to take over a little too much out here. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like, he has the potential to do that, which I love. Played with Jayden. And here's the thing. This is just a funny stat. I've had 2 rookie quarterbacks. Both have been offensive rookie of the year.
This is true.
So
you're the whisperer.
I'm saying, look, I don't do bad with the rookie quarterback.
The Raiders should bring you in with Mendoza this year.
Hey, I'm right here. I can walk down the street to the facility. I lost my train of thought. But
you were talking about Daniels and just progressing, kind of getting back on track.
Yeah, I think he's in year 3, which is a massive year too. Just coming into the league, year 1 rookie year, you're still figuring out and being able to use your legs, things like that. you start to learn. You learn through trial and error in this league, and then at the quarterback position especially, and you have the shortest window there for people to really kind of believe in you or not, right? Once you establish yourself a couple times, then boom, you kind of have a legacy ready to go. But early on is super critical for these quarterback positions because there's such a hot commodity of do we need a new one? Because if you don't have a quarterback that is at least solid, you have no chance of making it to the end.
So I want to ask you about some of the fantasy stuff you're doing, but you're so involved in fantasy football.
Yeah.
Are you right now, card collectors are going out and they're buying stock on guys. Are you buying Jayden stock in fantasy, in other words?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. The upside in the running, I love the running. And then not only that, mobile quarterbacks give you, in my opinion, a better opportunity because they can make plays on their feet. Like it breaks down. There's always a second option for them to get the ball down the field. And so I love that with, Patrick Mahomes is like one of the best at it, right? He's mobile, not as mobile as Jayden is. Lamar is another one, right?
Yeah.
Can create. Guys that can create can absolutely get it done in the fantasy world. So the quarterbacks are deep, though, this year. There's some good pocket passes out there. You got Drake May, you got Justin Herbert, you guys that are going to stay in there. You can still move a little bit, but we're going to sit in there and sling the thing. So quarterback position, if I'm looking at fantasy, I'm not getting to that until way late because we got to get some of these bell cows. We got to get some of these number one receivers out there first.
So how are you doing your drafts at this point? This is a couple guys at the top. We know those names, but if a receiver falls to you, say it's 7. Like how are you structuring most of your teams in your drafts?
Right now, I'm trying to get running backs ASAP because the fall off of philosophy is much different than it is for the receiver. If you're a receiver 1, you're a receiver 1.
Yep.
You might be an RB1, but you might be a bell cow RB1. You might be a split carry RB1. Mm-hmm. You might be in a committee RB1. So like the philosophy of receiver 1, you're the receiver 1. You're going to be getting probably most of the targets this year. Running back, you might be running back 1, but you might be sharing half your share with people. So 100% looking at the running backs first, and then if I get down into 3rd, 4th round, that's what I'm looking for. Receiver. If I get one early, but I don't like any of the running backs I don't care who. I'm taking the running back number 1 and probably number 2, and so I'm in the 3 range, 4 range for any of my receivers at that point. So that's where I'm at.
This has always kind of been your number 2 passion, fantasy football. It feels like in terms of
community,
just football stuff, right?
Yeah.
If you're not playing this year, how involved are you going to be? I mean, you're going to obviously you're running a lot of your own leagues.
Yeah, so I'm running my own leagues. It's called Fantasy Royale. So a lot of people invite me to their leagues. I can't join everyone, so I was like, let me create a league that everyone can join. Let's make it free to play, so it's all competition, and let's see who the best is and all the different fan bases, all the different states, the nation, and so that's what it is. It's a massive fantasy league, free to join. I have a ton of prizes up for grabs. So like if you're going to be competing in the Commanders fan base, right? You can win some signed Commanders gear and stuff like that but you compete across the nation. And so I wanted to give something that all fans can come together and actually kind of just compete in one big spot. And right now I don't think there's really something that kind of crowns someone as the best in the league, best in the nation. And so I want to bring some notoriety to the fantasy space out there.
I love that. What's your favorite last place punishment you've heard of for fantasy losers?
I've heard some interesting ones. I've heard there's one you have to stay in a fast food restaurant.
Can't leave the Waffle House.
Yeah, that one.
Those
you
are
have
very
you
fun.
can eat your way out of it. If you whatever you eat, take stuff off. Oh my goodness! I heard one. It was you have to cut whoever wins or cut someone in the league's lawn with scissors. That was interesting.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, scissors. Go cut the lawn with scissors, or mow the lawn with scissors.
I haven't heard that.
I saw one this morning. A guy was on the clock, and he said, "Okay, honey, you're up." That was the punishment. Was his wife, who has never seen a football game, has to make blind. You can't say
Picks
a word
his team?
on video. Picture first-round pick.
No.
Oh, wow.
And with all due respect, this is a guy, great career, but she goes, Debo Samuel. That seems fun. Picks him 1-1.
Oh, man. That's great.
I mean, that's just setting you up to be last every year then.
Every year we come up with our punishment
Yeah.
as a show. And my suggestion has always been loser gets a cat.
Gets a cat?
Gets a cat, like an actual cat.
That is horrible.
Right?
That's tough, right?
That's because that lives with you.
Yes.
Exactly.
And then you can't get rid of that because now
No.
you feel bad.
That's
and
like
you're like,
a 9-year commitment.
Oh,
Maybe
It's the
14.
forever reminder of your
my.
failure.
And now if someone's really bad, now they're like a crazy cat person.
Yeah, they have 6 cats.
Yeah.
Like, next stop, Taylor Swift.
They're going to stop joining your league after that.
Austin,
Wow.
it's good catching up with you, man.
Yes,
Great
likewise.
seeing you, and hopefully phone rings soon and you can get back into the league.
Heck yeah. I'd love to. Hey, I don't know who. I still got a connection to the Commanders over there, too, so you never know.
That's right.
You never know.
We're hoping Bill can have a big year.
Yeah, again,
He's talented.
It's going to be a committee over there, as you guys know.
Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out, though. I think Coach Lynn does a great job utilizing the running backs. Not great for fantasy. But
No.
for the team, I think it helps the team. You play players to their strengths. That's what's always going to give you the best chance to win.
Well, appreciate you. It's good to see you.
Likewise.
Good to see you,
Austin
my friend.
Ekeler on
Hey, buddy.
Grant and Danny coming back with you from Vegas.